And I'll give you guys, everyone here, $10,000 worth of advice. People pay $10,000 for this next piece of information. People will hear this next piece of information and radically change their life. They will cry. They will realize that they've been doing this one thing wrong their whole life. And I'm serious. People pay $10,000 to hear this next piece of advice. People will realize this is the most powerful thing they've ever heard, and they'll get their family into it. And there's entire programs built, I'm not going to say which one, around this exact single piece of advice. Okay, are you ready for it? The piece of advice is that humans, by nature, write stories to explain everything around them. And we write stories to understand our own experience in our mind. So if someone hurts us in some way, we start the story saying, I got hurt. And when you tell that story a bunch of times, you're actually reinforcing things that I'm a person who gets hurt. Versus, there is no power external to me. I was not hurt. This person needs to be removed from my life and I need to move forward. There's a different approach. And people don't realize, especially young people and old people who never got educated, that they've been living in their own storyline that they wrote and that they can actually rewrite it. We've all have a chance to rewrite our story. I get to rewrite that I'm a failed law student, or I get to rewrite that, oh, my dad didn't spend time with me, so I'm just going to be like a grouch about it. Every negative thing that we encounter in life becomes some story, and we are actually in control of that. And people don't realize that. And they don't realize that they aren't their feelings, and that emotions are a byproduct of chemical reactions in your brain, which combines with past experiences. And trauma is a word that we've used to explain these darknesses, these spots of pain and fear and hurt. And the thing is, you have to be able to rewrite that story over time. Maybe not first day, maybe not first month, but the real problem is that people don't even know they can. Once you know, you can rewrite it because it's your life. It's your version. It doesn't matter what other people are writing. That's actually their story about you. It's not relevant. And you could never control everyone's stories ever. So who cares? All I control is mine. So what I can do, what we all can do, is write this story that says, I am on a journey to become great. And along the way, it's going to be hard, but hard things are the fulfilling things in life. And if it wasn't hard, everyone would have it and no one would care. And so the very few good things in life are the very hard things. So you want to write a story that says, I like hard things. I'm seeking hard things. When things are hard, I recognize that I am growing. Whereas someone who is unaware that they can write their own story is like, why is everything happening to me? Oh, it's not fair. Oh man, what? Again, me? They can't see that every closed door is another opened. Every problem is the closing of one chapter into another. And that's a beautiful way to think of your life. Is I'm going to have chapters. Some are going to be crazy and some are going to be calm. Some are going to be factual, but there's going to be one main chapter. And I will either write that I'm a hero or I'm a zero. And it's up to you. And people live their story and their identity and they refuse to change it. They never realize they can't change it. And maybe this little thing I'm about to tell you is not possible for everybody, but I truly believe we're all capable to sit quietly, observe that the mind cannot really stop. And if we attach to the mind, if we say, oh, there's a thought, I'm a loser, I'm going to hold on to that, we suddenly can become that thought. It's just a thought, it will pass. So Even if thought is like, you're the best, it's just a thought. It's not reality. Only the facts define reality, not your thoughts. And so the mistake most people make is they attach to thoughts, and some people become very biased to negative thoughts. Some people become very biased to positive thoughts, which turns out is actually good. That it's better to be positively a little bit silly than always negative and not giving life a chance. There really is a vibration to these things. And so telling your own story is also about managing your own energy. If you take yourself negative, you are writing, yes, I'm a victim and life isn't right for me. I'm going to sit here. I want to indulge in the negative thoughts that are arising instead of saying, okay, I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to go out for a walk. I'm going to receive sunlight, and I'm going to take one step forward into the new chapter by writing a blog post. And that is the funny thing, right? It all just comes back to, are you going to do the thing you need to do? Or are you going to write a story for why you can't? And I don't mean to be unempathetic, to tell you the truth that humans are story writers. People don't realize it. They think they are their thoughts. They can never be external of their thoughts. They live their day-to-day life based on their thoughts instead of having a clear vision where they say, I will do what it takes no matter what occurs in life. That is life. And the challenges that are occurring are likely the responsibilities arriving for me to go into my next level, to level up into life, to take on children, to take on a marriage, to take on a home, to take on a business. It's all responsibility. It's all decision of what life do I want? The easiest, least fulfilling, sit on the couch, do nothing? Or should I procreate and take on the excessive burden of raising someone else? It's so excessive compared to anything else. And that's why it's the single most fulfilling thing in life is to have children. And once I discovered that, I started rerouting my own personal goals to help people achieve the most fulfilling thing in life. And that's really what I'm doing here, is helping people get fulfilled, because the rest of the world is saying, oh, you can just keep scrolling along and somehow that'll make you happy. But you're going to scroll past your life. You're not going to have children. You're not going to build the right skills. You're going to fall into the traps of everything that exists. And unfortunately, that may or may not include thinking about your feelings and going into that in perpetuity. There is a culture of this versus defining your life through decisive action. I am a result of my actions. And the actions I do today don't always play out tonight or tomorrow. It can take 90 days. 90 days for you to do something today to even begin to see the positive effects vibrating through the universe coming back to you. And so how many people are writing a story on day 40, I'm not good enough. Day 50, this is hard. Day 60, what's the point? And that's why you have to go to the Ikigai, because when you get in alignment with your Ikigai, day 50 feels as good as day 1, feels as good as day 500. I'm still here sitting in this seat since 2019, sharing the exact same things. Ikigai, funnels, remote. It all aligns. And my purpose in life seems to be to just keep saying this. Because if it's right, if having children is the hardest thing in our current generation because we're up against all these difficult things, the way our parents have been, the way the world has turned, the cost of, if that's the most difficult thing, yet the most fulfilling, then I equally can get extraordinary fulfillment by living that life, but also helping others. So now you can see my entire rationale and why I think the way I think, why I teach the way I teach, why I'm providing what I'm providing. It's not about learning digital marketing. It's about raising your standards and becoming like you said, unfuckwithable or extremely can't mess with me at any times, whether it's my thoughts, your thoughts, the economy. Like, how many people just love to say it's the economy? We all can fall in this trap. Oh, let's just blame it on the economy. But your quality of living, your, legacy that you create, it's from your actions, not your stories. And so that's the $10,000 advice. Don't be a story writer who's unconscious. That's how it works. Be a story writer who says, I know that if I write the story in a positive, favorable way that recognizes challenge, then I won't give up and I'm gonna actually enjoy my life. Like, two people can live in the exact same house and see a completely different world. Why is that? They have different lenses. What is your lens? It's the stories you've written. Life is hard. Life is easy. It's up to you. Do you think I think life is hard or life is easy? And which story should I write if I don't know that? You should always write your stories in your favor for your greatest version. But why, when I look around, I see most stories are negative. Most stories are fearful. Most stories are lack. So what's going on? And it can't be our fault. We can't be born this way. At some point in everyone's life, there's a wave of energy. I don't know exactly where it hits, but it hits you and suddenly you're like, wow, I suck. And I think it's just because like life is tricking you that school is something real. People thought if they did a good job at school and they get a degree, they become some special person. You don't. It's not that. It's the actions and level of standards you have for yourself after school. Because in school, it's fake. They have to pass a certain amount of people, right? Like everybody gets through it. It's not even real, right? So somewhere we are not being told and trained to be great and to write great stories. I think school from like grade 7 to 4th year university, you're just so homogenized, beat down by exams, left to feel unskilled, just having this useless knowledge. And I'm just glad, like, I didn't pay attention in high school. I went to do my skills. I was on my computer running my e-commerce business at 17, and I was at the golf course getting extra credit for physical activity. I skipped university for a bunch of years. I didn't believe in it. I eventually got back because I wanted to learn more about TV and video. I wanted to be in that industry. And then ultimately went to law school because didn't have a clear path of making a lot of money and felt like, okay, I'm going to try and do something else. But ultimately, you can't be average. And I've never gone the average way. And I think that what's scary for people, they feel like, wow, if I go outside of the box, I will be judged. And that's a story in itself. So we have a group of individuals who would really like to have success, but their first thing is, oh, what are people going to think? And that's where they begin even more negative friction and can never get it out. So that's why I say this is all about mindset at the end of the day. If you can navigate the mind, you can navigate the physical actions that are going to produce the results. Because unfortunately, you can't think your way to success. You will really have to move your fingers and your arms and probably talk with your mouth. You can't just use your brain yet. Elon has not unlocked that feature. Maybe one day. So I hope that's a lesson for everyone